I like babysitting, but... Hey sitters, welcome back to another video. It's Lydia. Thanks for joining me. In today's video, I want to share with you the ugly side of babysitting. Like everything, there's an ugly side. And with 10 years under my belt of babysitting, a couple years of nannying under my belt, I'm 23 years old. I've turned this into a business. I've got girls working for me now and about 100 clients. I've seen some ugly. So it's Halloween. Who here was invited to a Halloween party this weekend and had to decline because you were working? I did. So that is one ugly of babysitting, is that your social life is not, what's the right way of putting this? It's not where I would like it to be personally. My social life is not where I'd like it to be because I work. But because I'm my boss, I get to decide that, right? I do get to decide what days I work, what days I don't work. But this was a commitment a while back, and I had to follow through with that commitment. So I didn't get to go to the Halloween party with a bunch of my friends. And it happens all the time. I mean, this is just one example. I don't sometimes miss out on birthday parties. Sometimes I miss out on Christmas parties. Sometimes I miss out on just hanging out with my friends in general. My family, getting to hang out with my family on the weekends sometimes is shortened because I work during the day on Saturday, during the day on Sunday, and that's their break from work is the weekend. So sometimes I don't get to hang out with family as much as I'd like to. Also, New Year's Eve is coming up. Who here was booked last New Year's Eve for this New Year's Eve? I was. So that's just how babysitting works. That's how the babysitting world works, and it does dampen the social life. Another ugly is who I work with. Not necessarily their personality or anything like that, the age groups. So I work with adults and I work with children. I don't get to meet anybody my age. And if they are, they're married. So I work with an older crowd that is married and have children, and I work with children 13 and under. So it is very difficult for me to make friends, meet people my age while working. I know a lot of my friends who work in like the service industry or the retail, like they get to meet a lot of people, different ages of people. And that's hard for me. I work in a house by myself with children. Not that I don't love what I do, but it does make it harder for me to meet friends, meet people within my job and what I do. Right along with that, because I work with children, I don't get as much adult interaction as I'd like to. Of course, I talk to the parents before they leave and when they come home, but I feel like my whole career I've been talking to children, which I have, which can, in some ways, in some forms, have a play in how I speak to others, whether it be my family, my friends. Because I work with children, I tend to simplify what I'm saying to meet the children's needs and to really communicate with them, which then sometimes I do for my families and friends, and it can come off as disrespectful. Like I am talking to them as if they were a toddler. And yes, I am, but it's not meaning for me to do that. I'm not meaning to do that. So sometimes I come off disrespectful to some people when I really don't mean to. So no adult interaction, which then plays a role in how I speak to others, how I act with others. I just like more adult interaction. I feel like I'm just talking about toys and movies all day long, and I'd love to talk to somebody about something else. So I am 23 years old. I'm pretty sure I mentioned that already. I am an entrepreneur. I'm a business owner. I own a babysitting company. I also do YouTube. There's a lot of things that I do. But when I talk to somebody and they get a whiff of I'm a babysitter, or that's all they hear in everything that I say, there's a stigma around that babysitting is just a side gig. There's no money in it. Why are you still doing that? That's not a career choice, or that's not a career path. Or sometimes even people are like, okay, well, what are you going to do after that? Are you going to try and become a daycare owner? Or are you going to work as a teacher? Or like, there's something else I have to do after babysitting. And they don't realize that babysitting can be a career. So the stigma around babysitting, I tend to, as I get older, find myself not telling people I'm a babysitter. And that's just because of that stigma. And that shouldn't be like that. I should be proud, and I'm making a living in it, and I shouldn't have to worry about that. So the ugly of the stigma around babysitting is that it is a side gig, and it will forever be a side gig. And there has to be something after that, when there doesn't. It doesn't have to be something after that. It can be that. And I'm proof of that. So that stigma is an ugly. So all ugly aside, there are positives to babysitting. I am my own boss. I own my own business. I have girls working for me. I have clients that are happy. I have children that reach out to me after I babysit them and really communicate with me, and they're excited when I come over. I get to set my own prices. I just love it in general. I like to watch the kids learn and grow and flourish and become their own person. So there's a lot of good in babysitting. I'm not trying to discourage anybody from babysitting, but I did want to be truthful about some ugly of babysitting. I appreciate you guys so much. I hope you guys have a wonderful Halloween. I will see you guys in the next video, and thanks for watching.